Holy Fantasia 2000, Batman!
Tiki here, and I have been watching through each and every animated episode. That didn't come out right. Each and every episode of Batman the Animated Series for the first time. And oh my god, folks, we're so close. We're so close. This is the last little bit of animated content that we get to before a whole world of other stuff on the horizon. Dragon, tell them why we're here.
Well, you see, folks, long ago I made a vow to educate Tiki in the ways of Batman the Animated Series, serving as his spirit guide to Gotham in a way. But now, Batman's become part of a bigger universe, and the mission goes on as we enter the greater DCAU.
So tonight we're talking about the 6-minute short, Chase Me. So Dragon, I mean, I like this okay. Like I said, kind of like it scratches my Fantasia itch, so to speak. I very much enjoy that. I'm very curious though. How did this come about? What is this attached to? Like, was this part of? I'm just very curious, like how this came into being. So I just want to dive right into background on this thing.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm going to tell you.
All right.
Okay, so well, first off, let me tell you. Let me give you the bona fide, then I'll tell you how we get this thing. So this is this was directed by Kurt Gaeta, who did Mystery of the Batwoman, which we just did the commentary on. It was written by Alan Burnett and Paul Dini, so very appropriate, given some stuff coming up. But also, again, Alan Burnett had worked on Mystery of the Batwoman very recently to kind of connect our dots here. And Paul Dini, just to give you a Catwoman credit, he did the Catwalk episode, which is basically the best of the Catwoman episodes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Studio did this was Dr. Movie. Again, as you can kind of see very, very simply by the style, it was the Mystery of the Batwoman crew who essentially, Dr. Movie got their start on the Batman Beyond spin-off, the Zeta Project, and then kind of was they tested the waters with them there and gave them some Justice League Unlimited work, I believe, and then kind of bled into other things. So again, I keep saying Mystery of the Batwoman for a purpose, Deacon, because this was very much a tie-in for that movie, because essentially in animation we have all the models and everything. We've already have like our design Gotham, and we've reached back.
Yeah, the assets, as they would say in the video game world.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, because we went to all this trouble for this this animated movie to recreate the new Batman Adventures style in that world again, because they have to kind of design. Basically, they brought the new Batman Adventures was done in cell animation, and this was in 2003. So just to clarify for anyone saying, "Why are you doing it out of order?" We're doing it in the order in which the Batman's life went on. That's the idea. So this is before he met the Justice League and all that. Anyway.
Right. So that's why we're getting to Batman Beyond last.
Exactly, and there's obviously, for anyone's anyone's wondering what our finale is going to be, the deep cut people know exactly. We're going to be covering some Justice League stuff, but with the exception of one, and they'll know what that one is.
Ooh, that's a tease. All right, again, folks, I'm still in the dark on some of this stuff. We can still use that gimmick in the show, right?
Oh yeah, there's some surprises along the way. He has no idea about that's gonna. Well, obviously they're all surprises for him, but we'll
I mean, I am proud to say that I did watch every episode of Batman the Animated Series proper through this podcast.
Yeah.
Dragon, that is an achievement.
I know,
This is a little Mount Everest that we climbed.
This essentially is your graduation, technically. This is the last of Batman the Animated Series by proxy of the new.
Appropriate with the Fantasia 2000 comparison.
Yep. So that's the thing. So they basically over the years, after by season 2 of Batman Beyond, which is probably at that point, I want to say Justice League is probably on the horizon, if not in the works at that point already. Let's just say Batman Beyond is in season 2 after Return of the Joker. That's when they do the they transferred it to digital. So the first season of Batman Beyond is cell animated. Second season is basically they draw it on computer, which is basically have the whole medium kind of changed. We draw it directly on a tablet or something, which puts it on the computer. So we cut out the middleman, saved a lot of trees. You know how that goes. So so again, we did all this legwork for the movie, so we have some extra stuff left over. Like we have very cut runtime, and let's add something to the DVD because this was a direct-to-video release. So like, hey, let's do a short for the DVD. So I guess we had Alan Barrett was already on the project. He's very good friends with Paul Dini, so I'm sure whatever Dini was working on at the time, he's like, oh yeah, I'd love to work on this, yeah. And this short is very quintessential Dini. Dini's short form Batman writings are like this to a T. Like you would do this for something like Batman Black and White, like the kind of almost sometimes the dialogue list of the streamlined Batman stories. Like this is his bread and butter. He loves doing Batman stories without dialogue or visuals, or just kind of like he loves doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the last little two little notes here. One, the woman who did the score for Mystery of the Batwoman, of course, is one of the kind of the sons and daughters of Shirley Walker, if you will, metaphorically. The people that took on Shirley Walker's kind of her empire of scoring the DCAU. Lolita Ritmanis, who goes on to do the Justice League animated stuff and the very famously Batman Brave and the Bold.
Cool.
So you have the kind of the creation of that style. I'm sorry to take I don't one last thing because it's a short. It's going to go by real fast. One last thing.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So I mentioned this way before when we were in New Adventures, and given that it's kind of Catwoman's last appearance, really, in the the DCAU, I think it's kind of relevant to bring up is that this short kind of evokes the scrapped Catwoman spin-off show that they contemplated doing around the time of New Adventures. They were thinking about they're picking between a Nightwing spin-off and a Catwoman spin-off, and they went to develop the Catwoman spin-off, which was a very bad idea. So Nightwing never got that development. I'm not sure it would have panned out, but the Nightwing spin-off show never happened, and neither did Catwoman.
We already had this discussion. I feel like there's so much more story potential for Nightwing.
I agree with you unequivocally. But my point, and the fans would have loved it. My point is, I don't know how far they got in the staging of that Catwoman show, and I'm sure Dini might have. I assume Dini must have been involved, which makes me wonder. Was this recycled from that pitch, perhaps, or is this kind of like a testament?
I mean, it could. You know what it reminds me of, Dragon? How the teaser trailer for I can think of other examples. There's other things that do this, but the teaser trailer for Dinosaur, for example, feels like a short film, in its own right, and it turns out to be just the first 6 minutes. It's I could totally see this being kind of like a backdoor pilot. It absolutely feels like that.
Because it is very standalone, but absolutely I can see this as hey, the Catwoman show. So whether it's intentional or not, it very much evokes what they probably would have done with the Catwoman show. Occasionally you have a Bat.
Here's the thing. I feel like the one silver lining of the Catwoman show for me that I think this illustrates is while I really do not like the Catwoman design as a whole in the context of Batman the Animated Series, I honestly think her stylized design, if all the characters in that show kind of evoke that same sort of design, I honestly think it is kind of quintessential Catwoman. It just doesn't fit with the rest of the animated series look. You know what I mean?
I do. They again, it was kind
of.
So
I feel like if we had a more universal design that was a little bit more divorced from, proper Batman the Animated Series, I do feel like that would have been interesting, and it could have softened the design a little bit.
I mean, the thing that really intrigues me is Darwin Cook, of course, the unfortunately deceased Darwin Cook. Wonderful. He's the guy who invented the cat suit for Catwoman, which the proper the zipper, and the goggle look. That was him, and he goes on to work with Batman Beyond. He kind of helps out here and there in the animated series. Regardless, I mean, he knew Bruce Timm, and they very much share a style. As in, I imagine a perfect world. What if he ran the Catwoman show, and he brought his ideas that he would do in the comics to the show, before he did it to the comics? Can you imagine how it would have gone? It would have been revolutionary. So, it does it a lot. There was potential, not as much as Nightwing, but there was potential. Okay.
All right. So let's just go ahead. Like you said, it'll probably go by quickly because it's not only is it only 6 minutes, but there's no dialogue. So
All right, so we pan up to the Wayne Enterprises. Kind of they have this function going on. Bruce Wayne is.
I will say, bar none. As much the Catwoman stuff is good. the chase sequence, but it is a little bit like, like it's not like obviously they're not fighting, but it kind of evokes the whole like, and they're chasing, chase, 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 chase. It's just kind of like, all right, after a while, like it's fun animation, it's good kind of Fantasia style visuals, but it gets a little repetitive after a while. But what I really like about this short is the Bruce Wayne side of things, Dragon. This is excellent Bruce Wayne.
This is all Dini magic, my friend. This is Dini.
Absolutely.
So Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne stuff, absolutely, like unequivocally, is my favorite part of this whole short.
I concur, sir. I concur. I love the wraparound. I love also just again, Lolita Romantis, obviously with a short with no dialogue, her role is very important in this. I don't want to underestimate that. Of course, I believe what they call it. It's called Boss Nova and kind of a cha-cha piano theme. That's essentially what they're doing at the top here in the wraparound. The whole like it kind of starts off kind of smooth and kind of swanky party, and then it gets into kind of a jazzy thing and kind of a chase and all that. Anyway, but yes, Bruce Wayne. I love the shot. We have like almost that elevator shot going up, and then we just see Bruce Wayne's mind is on the city. Mm-hmm. Looking down, very Citizen Kane-like,
Yeah, I like that visual where it's like, he's like even in kind of like the penthouse setting that he's in and the tuxedo and everything, he's still like concerned about the street level of Gotham. Like
again, Bruce, his mind is he's checking his watch. He does not really want to be there. He's just waiting for an excuse to leave. And a trio of women, or again, this is the thing we've had ever since Phantasm. There's always a trio of women at all these functions that want Bruce Wayne.
You know what they kind of remind me of they kind of remind me of the townswoman from Beauty and the Beast, the Gaston fangirls.
Yeah, you're right. It is a little like that. Yeah.
I mean, a little less aggressive, but it's still kind of.
So we have a trio of women who they whisk him away to the dance floor. We got Playboy Bruce Wayne at play here, where he's dancing, he's charming the women. He doesn't really want to be there, but he's putting on a smile and everything. The women are cutting in on each other during the dance because they all want him to themselves. And then there's another trio in waiting. And here's a little Easter egg, Tiki. This is a short after all. What's a short without Easter eggs? They keep working this in there. You're going to see it again when we get to Return of the Joker. There's a woman wearing like this little blue coat and skirt and everything, or like wearing a coat. Anyway, so that's Black Canary. They used Black Canary's design, who appears in Justice League, and they keep working her in cameos in Batman.
That's interesting because I kind of got the vibe like I should know who she is. She looks familiar.
That's the thing, because that's her look. Basically, they nix the fishnets. Like usually she's wearing like these gray leggings or fishnets, and that's her whole stuff. That's the only thing that makes it not Black Canary, which is hilarious. They kept working her because she ties in like the Birds of Prey thing. That's why she's sometimes in Batman stuff. Anyway. There's a little Easter egg to kind of work her in occasionally before they got her in Justice League proper down the line. All right.
Okay, so I love this Alfred assist.
Yes.
The Alfred assist.
Yes. Oh my God, I love this too. Again, this is some Dini magic. Or just there's this understanding between the two of them. There's like a contingency where Bruce gives Alfred the help me signal, and of course Alfred to the rescue with the hors d'oeuvre distraction. It's a very slick move, very James Bond.
It's great. It's pretty much a Bruce Wayne bad exit.
Yes, it is. Of course he escapes to the elevator just to get away. Really, not even like to just to save the day. At least not yet. So he goes down. He's just like the elevator lets him out, and he finds Catwoman stealing from a Wayne Enterprises safe.
Yeah, so I like how at first it's like there's almost like a moment of recognition almost, but then it's like, no, she's not playing around. She literally gets the claws out.
And think about how insulting this is too. Like at this point, after all we've been through with this character, this is the last time we're going to see her. Really, it's she knows Bruce. She knows Bruce Wayne personally, and she's stealing from him.
Right.
Like no honor. Okay, so I just show you how far gone she is, like pure thief Catwoman, like no moral compass at all. Anyway, so Bruce Wayne's about she fakes surrendering, and what she does is use the opportunity to kind of fire these kind of shuriken kind of cat claws to pin him against the wall, which is pretty neat. Mm-hmm. So she escapes, all cockily, and I love this. Bruce, always pinned down, he can't escape, as far as she knows. She leaves, and then bam, he unpins himself from the wall, and then we have the music picking up. from the leisurely swanky party to a full-on.
This really does turn into Fantasia because it. I mean, like it very much feels like, you know, if Fantasia did like an incredible style segment, it'd be like, it really feels like it'd be something like this. I don't mean to keep drawing that line. I know it's a
Batman Mask of the Fantasia.
Nice. But I mean, I know it's a pretty obvious line to make, but I can't help but draw it.
I mean, look, it's artful. I like it.
Yeah.
If we could do a lot worse than Fantasia, I'll take it.
Fantasia is my number 2 Disney movie, right behind Lilo and Stitch. I literally just did a tier maker on it.
Really?
Yeah, right below Lilo and Stitch, number 2.
Is Emperor's New Groove in the top 5?
It's somewhere in the S tier, probably in top 5.
All right.
Anyways.
Okay, so the music picks up. We're going from leisurely to a pursuit here. Catwoman doing the classic. She's jumping off rooftops. She's swinging with the whip. Again, really well animated. It's been a while. Then we have, of course, Batman making his entrance as she's on top of this water tower. And oh boy, there's Batman. This excites her. She does an acrobatic, almost Daredevil-esque leap off the water tower.
Yeah, just what is it, like a triple flip or something?
Yeah, well, honestly, it's just the scale of it. But yeah, I think there's like some sort of flip, and basically she just go all the way down. She does she does like the fancy flip when she grabs like the banner and then basically leaps onto a tour bus, kind of like a Rush Hour-esque.
I love this tour bus sequence where
that's my favorite.
The tourists, like, at first they're all taking pictures of Catwoman, but then Batwoman comes on the scene and they're all taking pictures of him, and that gives her just enough time to escape. Good stuff. Really good visual energy there.
My favorite set piece, not counting the Bruce Wayne stuff at the top.
All right, so then Catwoman leaps onto a Gotham dairy truck, of all things.
Oh, how appropriate. Again, after they leap from like car to car, they end up on a dairy truck.
Right,
like she throws like a little explosive to basically kind of separate them. So she's on the truck, he's on the tank.
I love the freaking Bullock thing, but let's build to it.
Yeah, I was wrong last time because we do see our favorite one.
Well, we don't hear him though, so you were.
I know,
right?
Okay, so anyways, yes, Catwoman separates the two of them. Batman grapples away, but then we get a last look at an old favorite.
Oh my God, Dragon! This is perfect. This is like a perfect like post credits for Bullock.
I absolutely agree. So the tanker breaks as it like hits the edge of the overpass. And it just floods down from this overpass. There's just a giant tanker of dairy milk, and it floods like the streets and cats and everything. And the Bullock is exiting a donut shop as he is wont to do, and then he becomes he gets caught up in the flood of milk.
I need milk for my donuts, but not this much milk.
Hey, I heard a fun fact. I'm sure you knew this already. I'm gonna mention. I forget where I heard this. I heard cats actually cannot have milk.
I would not know because I just always assumed it was like kind of a stereotype that
I know, right? Milk. Apparently it is.
No, I can't confirm that, Dragon.
Yeah, I mean I heard, well, these cats aren't supposed to have milk. I'm not saying they can never have milk.
That's a weird stereotype if that's true.
Yeah, I heard from some. Yeah.
I blame cartoons because I feel like Tom and Jerry and stuff like that always like had gave cats the addictive personality of like kind of like subbing milk for alcohol.
I was listening to a podcast where I saw a review of the Tom and Jerry movie and someone brought up the milk thing.
I really think that's what it is, though.
You're right.
I really think I wasn't even trying to figure it out, but I think I just did. I think, like milk is like a metaphor for alcohol in those old school cartoons. And I feel like we all associate like, oh, cats in cartoons are always after the milk. I really think that's what it is. I'm proud of my brain there.
I don't know about the alcohol thing, but I do agree with I think it was grandfather. I think it was done.
I really do think if you go back and watch some of those cartoons, the cats are fiending for the milk, man.
Well, I think it's just like way back in the day, the milk thing probably was in practice, but just I don't know. I think maybe it was in practice during the olden days, but it just kind of like it died off. But the cartoons kept it around forever.
Right.
Okay. Anyway,
still doesn't bother me as much as Feast bothers me.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I assumed you knew.
No, I mean Feast really does bother me though, man. I'm sorry.
It really shouldn't though. It's just playing to the cartoon. Anyway, we're drifting off focus. All right. So, anyways, after the milk bit.
Uh-huh.
So Catwoman, she steers the driver, so she can achieve a hop onto a train. So she can hop onto this train. Then Batman follows suit, and then we have this great bit where he tosses the Batarang with the bat rope, and basically he nabs her. But then he has to, he pulls her down so they both can fit under like the trellis. But do you call it a trellis? A little tunnel the train goes on.
Yeah, it's tunnel. I would just call it a tunnel.
Sure, under the tunnel. And we have this great lighting thing where, again, you kind of the intermittent bits of light. And then, of course, when we come out the other end of it, she tied the Batarang to the train. That's just showing off right there.
Right.
Well, okay, so anyway, so she's headed to the Gotham Zoo after all this. Basically, she jumped the train. She's now in the Gotham Zoo. How appropriate.
I got to admit, right? I hate to say it, like as fun as it is to see like Batman fighting with like animals. Like I feel like the Gotham Zoo segment it's the one segment is where I'm like, all right, and they're chasing and they're fighting and they're chasing and they're fighting. Nothing really new's going on here.
Well, I agree with you in that I like the ending that we get, but we have to get there by proxy of the zoo. We have a money shot. That's mainly the only reason we need the zoo. They're going for the animals. I get it, but you're right. It does drag shaving off the crest.
I mean, it's weird to criticize a 6-minute short for dragging, but when we have no dialogue, I don't know.
It's really 5 minutes too. If you cut away. Yeah. Anyway, so we have.
It's weird though. It's a weird criticism. I will fully self-admit that.
All right, so we have gorillas, bears, and hyenas. Again, this is a Dini.
Wouldn't it be funny if one of them was secretly Grog?
You mean Grodd?
Grodd? It's Grodd, not Grog?
It's not Grog, Tiki. It's Grodd with a D. With D.
Oh, I'm thinking of Trader Sam's Grog Grotto.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
All right, Gorilla Grodd for the kids. All right.
Anyways.
Anyway, but no, that'd be too convenient if it was Grodd. No. Anyway, so we have gorillas, bears, and hyenas, which again, a little Dini nod there, little hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them in a little Bud and Lou homage. All right, so then we have the Panther death trap. It's basically getting to the lion, kind of the feline section.
Oh my God, Bagheera's gone bad.
Yep. This is not the first time Batman's tangled with like large cats, mainly panthers. If I recall, of course, Demon's Quest panther. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, Drug. Just the idea. Like, I feel like just Batman fighting large animals is just inherently cool.
It is. It's ever since the '60s Batman, it's been cool because they actually had like a stuntman in the bats who go up against like an actual lion. It's crazy. Anyway, so Batman's going up against the panther here, and he hog ties it, which is awesome. So Catwoman, then she unlocks all the cages. Think, oh no, Batman's going to have to go up against 3 lions. Oh no! But
oh no! Sorry.
So he grapples through the skylight to evade that fight very smartly, because again, Batman's a thinker. This guy knows what he's doing. All right, so then we have, and this is a wonderful throwback. Again, we've been to the Gotham Zoo before, and again, they reused the backgrounds from the original animated series, and it was really cool to return to the aviary, which, of course, very memorably used in Almost Got Him during the Penguin segment.
Right.
So we're in the aviary, and Batman's chasing her, and we have this great bat. Let me rephrase that: actual bats, are chasing her in the aviary. And we have one of the great bat entrances as he appears before her against the moon with bats flying around him. Oh boy!
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I will give the zoo a pass just because that is such a cool image.
Yeah, and so she's
like, there's no other way to logically get there.
Yeah. All right. So she flees and she tries to climb the fence with the whip, but then and this is awesome. Shuriken Batarang cuts the whip. So she falls, but she lands on her feet. Very cat-like, very athletic. Mm-hmm. Then another one hits, like she's about to make a move. Another one hits the bar. She can't go that way, and she tries to get the other way. Another Shuriken Batarang. She's cornered. She's caught. Shenanigans are at an end. She surrenders, drops the bag of loot. Then seductively, again, like the Panther did damage, scratch the crap out of Batman. It's like, oh, did I do that? Just communicating it within the animation.
Let me
very
give your
well.
boo-boo a kiss and make it all better.
Yeah, the whole like, can the kitty lick the wound, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just trying to elicit sympathy regarding the damage to him, and then Batman, he rejects this. Again, at this point, we've established that Batman's no fool. At this point, he's not going to fall for Catwoman's thing. At least, again, then we play with that here, where he rejects the pawing at him, but then he goes in for the kiss. He goes in for the kiss. One, because there's always a little bit of that thrill between Batman and Catwoman, but mainly to distract her. A distractor for what he's about to do. Mm-hmm. So again, he goes in for the kiss. Then we have some great lighting, as again, it's like kind of like a kiss from the old movies, so like a '40s kiss, man. And then they'll have this intense bright light, and then they have like the red and blues come in. It's the police. The police arrive. Batman gives her a smile, which oh my god, he's giving her. Batman smiling is in like, hey, get out of here. He grabs the loot. He just says. Yeah, it basically alludes to like, you can get out of here. At least you think that's what it is. That's what Catwoman.
Yeah, right.
So she's about to leave, all happy-go-lucky, but that's gonna be faint because she's been bat-cuffed to the cage. She's been bat-cuffed to the gate. She ain't going anywhere. Then we go full circle. That's a great ending. I love Batman getting the upper hand on Catwoman after all this time. That's just fitting, man.
Yeah, I agree.
So when we get our full circle, really sweet ending here. Full circle wraparound. Bruce Wayne looks down from the Wayne Enterprises party, and again, the whole core of the short is that Bruce Wayne's bored as Bruce Wayne. Batman's bored as Bruce Wayne. He again, there is the thrill of the chase with Catwoman, which again, he actually had a good time. He is sad to see it go. He doesn't regret what he did at all, but it's just like, well, that's the end of my night, and just kind of back to the facade as another beautiful girl drags him away to dance at the party as bon vivant Bruce Wayne, and we get back to our nice jazzy kind of cha-cha theme. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like how full circle that ending is.
Yeah, it's a day in the life for Batman. It's great.
Yeah. All right, so Dragon, just really quick, just final thoughts. I honestly really do think this is a neat. I call it like a post credits to Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah,
like that's which I think is appropriate because of course it's the post credits to Mystery of the Batwoman, at least on the DVD, right?
Well, no, on the HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
On the DVD, it's like a bonus feature on the DVD.
So. But still, it feels like that. It kind of has that vibe,
Yeah. It's a PS. I mean, it's done after the movie. You have the story, and you have
right.
Road Shooter and all this. Yeah.
So yeah, I really do think that this does a good job. It is a little unfortunate. I'm still not a big fan of this Catwoman design. Like I said, I feel like the design would work better in a show where it was kind of like the universal design choice. But I digress. It's still a fun time all around, and definitely gets me stoked to get into the broader DCEU. I feel like we've kind of like earned that journey. But Dragon, I'm sorry. Really quick final thoughts on your end. My bad.
All right. Yeah, this is a nice, simple testament to the Batman-Catwoman dynamic, I think. Honestly, as it should have been from the start, let's be honest. Again, the Batman-Catwoman dynamic in the animated series, just in the DCA, has always been a little... It's like we had great elements, we've had some great moments, but it was never cohesive, and never was like straightforward point A to point B, it never tracked. We always had to change things up. We got the thief Catwoman too late. We had the activist Catwoman too early. Only when Dini's penned the episodes have they really stood out, and unfortunately Dini penned like the last Catwoman episode of the animated series in season 3, so it was kind of doomed in that regard. But honestly, this is like a model of what it should have been from the start. It's all about the thrill seeking. It's a very visual. It's again thrill of the chase. The music was very fitting. Again, feels very much kind of like a prototype for the kind of stuff they do in Batman Brave and the Bold, in a sense. The choreography is great. Again, very befitting of the score. It ends very on brand. It's again, each hallmark of Batman the Animated Series in some form or another kind of got an ending, and this is probably in some way, shape, or form kind of have like a send-off piece. And for the new Batman Adventures, I would like to think this was it versus something like, like a movie that I hesitate to name, but Batman Harley Quinn. It's like, this is a proper.
No, we don't talk about that. That is not
No,
canon.
no, we don't. No, we're not talking about it again, folks. So this is the proper send off in a sense. I mean, this feels morally like the proper send off to the new Batman Adventures, like a nice closing of the books. Yeah.
I mean, Batman Harley Quinn, it felt like a cash in more than anything else.
Well, regrettably, it's a shame, but regrettably, yes.
Yeah. All right, so Dragon, we've got one last stop to make before Justice League, so why don't you tee it up?
Okay. The Batman's greatest failure, the long-lost boy wonder, a crimson revenge plot against the Caped Crusader and the Clown Prince of Crime. Can Batman and Robin escape the most personal death trap yet? Will this missing chapter in the DCAU impress? Tune in next time to find out. Same animated bat time, same animated bat place.
On the next visit to the animated Batcave with Batman, the adventures continue. Red Sun Rising.
Danny Burnett, yeah!